If you ask anyone in Stoke-on-Trent where the word potholes come from, you might hear the same answer. That potters dug clay out of the roads, and that's why we call them potholes. It's a story that's been told for generations in the potteries, but how much of it's true? The word pothole today conjures up images of burst tyres, bent wheels and angry drivers, but its history goes much deeper, and the tale does indeed have a strong link to North Staffordshire. The earliest recorded use of pothole comes from 1826. Nothing to do with roads, but with geology. A pothole described a natural cavity in rock in caves or riverbeds. And the word pot was used in Middle English to describe a pit or a hollow or cavity, long before it applied to the making of pots. So the word pothole for a hole in a road doesn't appear until the early 1900s, so this doesn't prove a pottery connection, but Stoke-on-Trent's own history shows why the idea stuck. For centuries, clay was the lifeblood of the potteries, and before canals and railways made transport easier, potters often took clay from the land closest to them, and sometimes from the roads themselves, and this wasn't just a rumour. In 1448, Richard Adams and William, his brother, were fined for digging clay in the common road between Sneyd and Burslem. Other records from the same period mention locals being punished for leaving pits and holes in the highways. By the 16th and 17th centuries, complaints about potters damaging the highways were common. Roads in and around Burslem and Tunstall became scarred with holes where clay had been dug out, making travel treacherous. Even centuries later, local histories and court documents continue to refer to potters' holes in the roads. Pottery makers in the 15th and 16th century would take advantage of the ruts that wagon and coach wheels gouged into the roads. Anxious for a cheap source of raw materials for making clay pots, the potters would dig deep into the ruts to reach clay deposits underneath. And the people driving the wagons and coaches over these roads knew who and what caused these holes and referred to them as potholes. Burslem, the mother town of the potteries, grew from a small community of farmer potters in the 17th century. Its early prosperity came from making butter pots, and by the late 1600s, the town was already associated with road damage caused by clay digging. The link between potholes and pottery may not be the origin of the word, but it is a powerful piece of local folklore that's rooted in truth. People in Stoke-on-Trent really did suffer broken roads because of clay digging, and the potter's reputation for leaving behind dangerous holes endured. And when the word pothole eventually took on its modern road meaning, it is easy to see why the potteries claimed ownership of the story. Few places in England could say with certainty that their roads were literally broken by potters. So did Stoke-on-Trent invent the word pothole? The evidence suggests not. The word comes from older dialect roots where pot meant a pit or a hollow, and its first recorded use was in a geological sense. But did the potteries give us the enduring story of potholes, with clay digging potters blamed for dangerous highways? Absolutely. So the next time you hit a pothole on a Staffordshire road, you can blame modern tarmac and traffic. But remember too that the link between potholes and pottery is part of Stoke-on-Trent's long and fascinating history. Thanks for watching, and if you love local history, make sure you check out my website, The Red Haired Stokey. Thank you.